Alright guys, we're going to do a little more testing. This is actually the second manifold I got on here. I think I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. First manifold was the original dual plane, and I ran it with the BBD. The BBD did get some more work since last time you've seen it. Does not seem to have given it any more airflow though, so all I did was I put a smoother texture on it. I figured because it's so restricted, the thinner boundary layer might help. Didn't help at all. So this is what I've got so far. We're on the second quickie port. This is runner number 4. That's what I did on the other manifold too. With the 3.5 inch spacer in the BBD, we got 167.6. Throttle body injection manifold with the Stromberg, 161.9. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try a spacer on here with the BBD and see what we get. Now, of course, this is going to not be a lot of fun because I got to keep hitting the pause button to get some time to unbolt everything and bolt it back up. Okay, I figured out how I can get this first one bolted on. I'm just going to put a couple more screws in that so we don't have any leaks. I have no idea what bolt pattern this spacer has, but it has another spacer that bolts to it. Alright, this spacer is a bit much. Doesn't even clear the linkage. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with it. Okay, I think I'm trying to use it wrong. I think it's designed for a bigger carburetor and then bolted to a BBD manifold. So I'm actually trying to use it in reverse of how it's designed. But I do have it, so I have the throttle blades are locked open. I'm going to try it. Okay, figured it out. You need that thick gasket in order to make it work. Now we got it. Got to thank Casey. Casey hooked me up, gave me all kinds of hardware and everything. He thought of basically every possible combination. I appreciate his hard work. Okay. Kind of looks funky, but it does add probably about an inch, 120 thousandths to the entire height of it. And even with the tiny BBD, I'm going to make a bet that this beats the Stromberg just as it sits. See how I do. Okay, now Casey gave me a bunch of other things to try bigger carbs on here. We're going to bolt all of that on next. Okay. First carb we're going to try this style. 1.54. I think this is a 350 CFM. I am not sure. I'm not a 2-barrel expert. I've never used a 2-barrel before in my life. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think this is a 350, and it is going to be going on the manifold with a single adapter. Okay. Due to time constraints, it's got caddy corner bolts. We should be good. It shouldn't leak. Okay, that looks like what I saw. So that means I'm probably getting better than 350 CFM out of the BBD? I don't think so. That doesn't even sound right. Now this carb is very corroded and dirty. This is straight from the swap meet. I'm sure it doesn't flow a full 350. Okay, carb a lot of people have been looking forward to seeing. 1.68. I think this is a 500 CFM Holley. I would expect this to work better than the 350. We're going to test it next. Okay, a little tough getting it installed. It could definitely use a little clearance, but we got it all together. Okay, so the bigger carb was worth a couple CFM, not a whole lot. Let's see if we have something else we can bolt in. Okay, 2-barrel to a 4-barrel adapter. Now I think when this adapter was designed, it's designed, I'm thinking to bolt a 2-barrel on a 4-barrel manifold, but I guess it could go either way. We're going to try it backwards and see what we got. Okay, it looks easy, but if you're going to do something like this, be prepared to do a little grinding to make it all fit the way it should. Okay, both the carbs Rob lent me are spread board. They don't fit. Let's see if we can get a Holley to fit. I have one Holley laying around somewhere. Okay, that's obviously how it's designed. Okay, cool. Okay, almost there, guys. My 770 truck Avenger. Absolutely filthy. See if I can clean that up a little bit. It really doesn't look that bad. It's not something I would run, but I've heard of guys running 4 barrels on 2-barrel intakes, and they say they run good. So let's see what it's going to do. Okay, we had 177 point something, I don't remember. But it was very interesting. The bigger carburetor held on much, as I was winding down the lift, it stayed much higher. So the differential pressure across the carb makes a big difference. Obviously, this will have much lower differential pressure because you've got so much more venturi area. How will that work as far as breaking up our fuel? It's a good question. It's kind of like the thinking that I had with this, right? You have a venturi, and then you have that spacer, which is basically another little venturi. It may actually work pretty good. I mean, you can get a decent amount of horsepower out of 177 CFM. Alright guys, we got a couple more things to do before we call it quits today. Sorry guys. Okay guys, almost there. A little bit more. I got to plug some holes and bolt the carb on. Okay, this is pretty cool. They actually have the casting date on there, 9/24/71. What manifold is it? I don't know. I'm going to guess it's a 318 4-barrel. It's got the same bumps. Let's see if we can get some light on that. It's the same bumps. The plenum is nice and generous. It does have a sharp edge here for fuel shearing. I don't like that. I'd round that right out. I would also probably remove this. I'd probably modify this plenum exactly the way I modified the plenum on the Chevy iron bow tie. Now the carb we're going to use. Okay, this is Rob's carb. He explained it all to me. I don't know nothing about no stinking carbs. I think he said it was an 800. It's obviously for a 440 with an automatic. I think the year was 74. In any case, it's a big old thermo quad. Let's bolt it up and see what we can do with it. Okay, it's pretty impressive seeing it bolted to manifold. The thing's massive. I'm going to need like 6 hands to hold all these butterflies and things open. I'll see what I can do, guys. Yeah, I should mention, I think he told me it was an 800. Rob's going to see this sooner or later, and he'll chime in on the comments and correct me if I'm wrong. He did give me one other carb to try. Let's bolt that on and see what damage we can do. So far, what did we learn? Run a 4-barrel, guys. If you mess in with a 2-barrel, it's strictly for economy. or mandated racing with a 2-barrel. Otherwise, easy CFM bolting on a 4-barrel. Easy horsepower. I know guys like to see the numbers. I don't see any other numbers on this carb. It's a giant spread bore Holley. It does have really nice boosters. I'm going to guess they consider that an annular booster because... Let's see if we can zoom in there. You see those holes that come out underneath the secondary venturi? That's really good for fuel atomization. That looks like an annular booster to me. It may be a down leg booster. I don't know the difference, guys. You guys can correct me in the comments because I'm not a carb guy. I mean, I actually ran one of these like early 90s. It was a little different though. It only had boosters like that on the secondary side. I don't know. It was a little bit different model. This is a nicer model. I think Rob said this was an 850. We'll see if it makes any difference. Okay, what looks better than a giant Holley on top of your carb, on top of your manifold? 2 giant Holleys. We're not doing that today. This is a nice piece. I have a feeling this is going to beat the thermal quad. Let's see if I'm right. So that was bouncing between 197 and 198. So it actually flows almost identical to the thermoquad. Maybe they're both 800 CFM. I don't know. But I think that's going to close out today. That was a ton of testing. Yesterday was a day I did not enjoy whatsoever. What I did all day yesterday was measure your Magnum heads and your 360 LA heads so we can put into the IOP program. And then Stan emailed me with his latest IOP program. So luckily for me, Sophia, my 17-year-old, is on spring break. She's here. She can help me with the computer issues that I have. Get the new program in and loaded. Yeah, I know, she's 17, but, you know, she started college when she was 13, so she's a bit smarter than me. Yes, I married a very smart woman. Why do I always have to hear that? Every single time. You think I wanted kids like me? Oh, no. I need to marry up. All right, guys. I'm choking over here. God's punishing me. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.